for me, a person like me, to know where I come from and know my history. That's great. In fact, I love what you guys are doing. And, you know, of course, they know where we've been, to know where we're going. But I'm an entrepreneur. And I understand that tourism is big money. You know, there's a lot of money involved in that, I understand. And so how does a person like an entrepreneur like myself, you know, I would love to donate if I had money, but an entrepreneur is looking for ways to make money. How does an entrepreneur get involved in some of this tourism? So if I'm not a restaurant or a hotel or something, how do I get involved so I can make some money with some of this money that's going back and forth?
Well, one of the first ways, you have to know not only your business, but you got to know the industry itself. Which is one of the reasons why we're having this particular gathering, is to begin to educate those who are here, but even to be able to use this information to share with other business owners as to the value. That's the first step, I think, in educating more of our business owners, particularly minority business owners, as to the value and the benefits of taking some of your marketing, advertising, or resources and directing it to the tourism industry. Of course, I want to say join my network, but of course, Visit Baltimore is also a membership organization. So for those who are business owners who have little knowledge about what I call the fabric of tourism and how it really works, you really have to start the educational forums like this and join the organization and meet and greet, become a friend of the Great Black and White Museum, become a member of the regular Lewis Museum, and as you begin to network with the industry, because this is how I started on a whim. I was publishing a Minority Business Directory, and one of the business owners on Packard Street in Lewis create something for the tourist industry, a small book like this. So before I could create the book, I volunteered. In 1993, I volunteered for the Elks and the Delta Convention, and I worked for free at their volunteer information desk. So when people came from all over the country as a Delta or an Elk and asked Lewis, where can we go, where's this, where's that, because I knew my city, I could answer those questions, but I wasn't an entrepreneur in tourism at that time, but I was providing information. The second thing they began to ask, well, Lewis, it's great you tell me where the 5 Mile House is or where Great Black and White is, but we really don't cars. We have no cars. The cabs is going to be too much for us to go back and forth. It's 10 of us. How are we going to get there? So one thing led to now doing transportation to provide that service. And the next thing I began to realize, you can't do heritage tours if you don't know the history and the heritage. So then you have to begin doing the research on what made Baltimore history so vibrant, that people come from Japan, England, France, Switzerland, anywhere in this country, and say, where is Pennsylvania Avenue? Like today, my friend from New York, where was he at? Where was the wire shop? So if you want to be in tourism as a business owner, these are some of the tidbits of knowledge you must first get. And I think the best way to do that is to join one of the museums, begin to go to the meeting with the tourism industry, learn the industry, learn how it works in Baltimore, and if we can work with Brother Bond and get a special rate for minority businesses, I think more folks would join. It's right as business.
Where you from?
I'm here.
Where you born and raised?
Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay. When people come into my office in Harlem, the first thing they ask me, they give me this look like, are you a downtown guy with a name like Shoemaker? Are you from Harlem? And they're really trying to figure me out. They're trying to figure out where I'm from. And they ask me, so where you from? And I'll say I'm from Harlem. The next question is, how long have you been living here? I've been living my entire life. When I say that, this ease comes down, because they're not being bamboozled. Now what I got to do is offer them an authentic experience. 55 million people came to New York City last year. Of the 55 million people have expressed an interest in some type of heritage-oriented experience. So now, here you are from Baltimore, born and raised. You are what they're looking for. Now what you got to do is go out there and create an authentic experience. How can somebody get involved in the community? What about this lady over at the church who cooks that delicious fried chicken? Come in, you bring the food to the venue, you get a local tour guide, and let's get Mama Edna in there. And now you put together a grassroots experience that comes from you, the born and raised Baltimore resident, and that's exactly what the tourists looking for. So easier than you might think.
And as a follow-up to your question, it's the educational component. When you understand that tourism taps into almost every sector of our lives. I had a tourist coming to Baltimore. We were down at the Pleasant Street, station for the Underground Railway excursion, the little 8-year-old boy fell out completely, fatal. So all of a sudden, tourism now becomes a health issue. One year, the bus broke down. Now tourism becomes a mechanic issue. So as you said, it's a lot of money generated in tourism. If you have a retail boutique, if you're an arts and crafts, if you're a photographer, you do music. All of these are things that travelers and conventions and tourist conventions need. Venues like the Reginald Lewis Museum, venues like the Wax Museum. If you have an art gallery, I found lots of groups like to have their opening reception at art galleries. And then some of our tourists are book lovers. Now we're talking about a taste of soul because all of our tourists want to eat. And after they eat at Inner Harbor, God bless them, we know we don't all make businesses in Inner Harbor. But after they spend that $185 for that meal for two, then they call with me. Hey, Louis, we all got y'all 5 fish. Where you eat? And then they get a total experience because we do want them to have fun and friends in the harbor. But surely we want to get them to Terra Cafe, Grammys out in Orange Mills, whether it's Negro League Baseball Museum is in Orange Mills in Baltimore, Maryland. So we want to share all of the things the tourists want. What does the tourist want? Where can I shop? Where can I spend money? So who has the Afro-American boutique? My friend Dr. Farmer there is in the hair care business. Now who's coming to Baltimore and I want to get touched up, nails or hair something? So all of those industries can be impacted by tourism, particularly those of you who have friends or family members who are entrepreneurs. They need to come and meet with us so we can sit down and show them. When a bus comes up, 40 people, and your cousin, your uncle, somebody has a restaurant, and all of a sudden, on a day when he got 4 people in there, him, the chef, and the person up front, and all of a sudden he got 50 people coming in there wanting to eat. That's a revenue generator for that business that day he would not see otherwise. So it's important that we look at tourism not just from the standpoint of people coming into the harbor, but what impact can it have on economics and our economy. It is a true big money stimulator. Sure.
Yeah. With that, I think what you're hearing is use your networks. So develop a strong network with people like Lou, Tom Saunders, Dr. Martin, so that when you have things that you can't necessarily do, you can tap into your network and say, hey, I have this big group. I want to partner with you to do these other things. Yes, you do have to make the investment. Visit Baltimore is, to me, is a reasonable investment. I understand it is a lot of money.
How much is it?
It is a reasonable investment. And I do work with all of our members because I do understand that, we all don't have the wherewithal to purchase a membership. But, we can promote your business to certain things. And then the most important thing that I try and tell all of my members is you have to be patient and you have to be diligent. Because I'll have a lot of members come on board and say, well, I gave you X amount of dollars, and no one came into my shop. And I'll turn around and say, well, I'm looking at some of the things that I've asked you to provide me to do for yourself, to help promote yourself, and you've not done those things. It's not going to happen for you overnight. You make the investment, and then you make the investment of time. So if you are to get started, I'll give you my card, we can talk, but you have got to make the investment of time. Time is, you got to be patient, and you got to have time to do these things, and your network support is key.
I think we have a question from, say your name and where you're from.
My name is Colin, I'm also from Washington, D.C. I just have my colleague that we should share with